What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the Den. I am your host, Ed Honcho. And I want to say thank you. You're like, well, Honcho, thank you for what? We haven't done that. Yes, you have. I want to thank you for showing up this evening and allowing me the privilege of being your host. Because it is a privilege, it is an honor to get to chop it up with you guys every night. And I don't want it to ever be thought that I take that for granted, you know. So many things that you could be doing. The fact that you come in and kick it in the den with the friends of the den, I appreciate that. Again, this is the Den. If you don't know, this is the best conversation on the internet. Social commentary from a realistic perspective. And tonight we're going to kind of continue, and I really didn't want to talk about it, but somebody had asked, and I saw it get a few likes, and so I figured, you know, I've seen a few new people kind of come into the conversation. So I think we're going to talk about it tonight. And I'm not going to talk real long because I did a whole dedicated video to it, but I'm going to kind of recap that if you didn't see it. And then I'm going to open up the den line and just let you guys call in and speak your piece. But let's get the proper housekeeping out the way. Y'all know how we do it. If you want to follow the Den on all the proper social medias, facebook.com/DenShowLive, Twitter and Instagram @DenShowLive, different platforms, same name. If you want to follow my personal social media, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, there's that. And links to all the links to all that stuff is in the description below. So if you didn't catch it, it's in the description of the comment, the video, the stream. If you want to contact the Den line number is 833-284-3336. Again, that number is 833, the number 2, the Den is the easiest way to remember that. If you ever want to send a voicemail when we're not live, send a text message. You know, I know some of you like sharing memes and stuff like that, and I appreciate it. So, you know, it lightens up my day throughout the day. So I appreciate you guys who do use the Den line throughout the day. DenShowLive@gmail if you want to send an email, you know, drop some news, whatever it may be. I appreciate everyone who does that. TheDenShow.com. If you go there, it'll bring you straight to the channel. If you want to tell a friend about the Den, just tell them go to TheDenShow.com, and it'll bring them straight to the channel. If you want to tell them how to get to the live stream, TheDenShow.com/live, it'll bring them straight to the live stream. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the Den. And again, I appreciate all the love as we continue on this journey to reach this goal. And it's growing. I feel the love. I feel the energy, man. And I appreciate y'all sincerely. Streamlabs.com/TheDenShow is the way to donate. We would have the super chats off right now as we continue on this goal. When we get there, we'll cut them back on. But I just thank everybody who has been showing love, who has been just supporting the Den. Man, it's greatly appreciated. Patreon supporters. As y'all saw, we got some new Patreon support. Patreon.com/TheDenShow. If you want to donate to the Den monthly, as we continue to grow and get this thing going, you go to Patreon.com. Several different layers. Like I told you, I started a Discord chat so that we can kind of have a 24-hour conversation with the Den folk. If you want to join that, if you want your name and the credits of certain videos, different tiers, you can go check that out. Patreon.com/TheDenShow. Shout out to James Martin and Cena Starry-Eyed for supporting. I sincerely appreciate it. Your contributions are going to go a long way, and I thank you for that. But now that we got that out the way, you know, we got to do that at the beginning of every stream. Let's talk about it. But before we talk about it, I have to talk about something very important. That is you guys, the friends of the Den, the denizens, the Dengenerates, and the Den folk. Tonight, I think we're going to be some denizens. I think we got, you know, it's important to talk about it. DeMarcus, Culture to Nubis, Vici Online, what's the motherfucking deal? Wise, Rigo, Bell, Southern Style, Jason S, Studio City, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Mac 11, what's the motherfucking deal? Eastside Hero, real street stalker at a Walker Green Mile. Hold up. Frederico Pillows, I think that's Oscar. What's the motherfucking deal? Victoria Welch, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I've seen some of your comments and I appreciate you subbing to the channel. So thank you. We got a new friend in the Den. Everybody welcome Miss Victoria. Rashida Reed, what's the motherfucking deal? Soul Better, what's the motherfucking deal? Everybody welcome Soul Better. We got a new friend in the Den. Really appreciate you being able to join us. Let me see, 335 live from underwater. Man, hey Jack, look. Keisha R, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, man, the weather is bad out here. I'm kind of hearing the storm trying to roll in. So if it just cuts out or something happens, you know, y'all know I always try to fight back. Just give it a couple of minutes, we'll get right back in action. If not, if it just looks like it's gonna be out for the day, then it's gonna be out for the day. But you know, we're gonna try to get our usual 2 hours in tonight, and if it's a good conversation, we may go a little bit longer. But let me just kind of get into it. For those of you who hadn't heard, they found the car. The dad, I don't think anybody's really seen him in a couple of days, or the stepdad. because it's not getting confused. Because and it's not to say that they don't, but you're a sick bastard to do this anyway. But you're a super sick bastard to do this to your own child. We talked about the story the other day with the video game guy and him doing it to his own son. So that's fucking disgusting. But the stepdad, I don't think anybody's seen him in a couple of days. They see the cops have been trying to get him to come in to. I think you got to put an exclamation point raffle. I'll show you. For it to count like that. I don't think they've seen him in a couple of days because they asked him to come in and do a sketch, and so I know that people are like, "TR, what's the motherfucking deal?" And I know people are like, well, why didn't he do it then? You know, he might have had the excuse that it was fuzzy. You know, I think everything he's saying is bullshit personally. Like, I believe everything is bullshit, but we'll see exactly how it all pans out. But I haven't seen him in a bit. Again, like I said, the car was found in the Mo City parking lot. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Missouri City. Found it in, I think it was found by a Metro worker. You know what I mean? So, again, just craziness. The kids have been taken, and they are with the paternal, well, whichever kid. I think the son, the youngest one, who was with the dad. I believe he's with the grandmother. So the Vince's mom, and then the other one I believe is with the aunt. And I don't know the situation about her and how many kids she had, and I don't know. You know, it's like I said, I know there was an older brother because I believe there was a daughter and two sons taken away. So I'm assuming I'm trying to work on that. You know, but they've been taken by CPS. And like I say, this whole story, it just, I'm going to be honest from the very beginning. I told you from the very beginning, it looked like him. I'm going to be honest, like her involvement, I can't say it like, I don't want to say she is. It's just tough. It's really tough. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure that he has something to do with it. Like I'm like guaranteed that he has something to do with it. But my thing is, you kind of got to go look back, and I spoke on this in the video. I don't know, DeMarcus. I might have to flip the tables on Rashida. She talking that trash. I look at it, and I look at the CPS violation from last year, and I talked about this, and this is what bothers me, right? Because I guess they were living with the grandmother, and this is why I don't take. Here's why I don't take any blame off her. What's up? What's the motherfucking deal, Yolanda? What's the motherfucking deal, Charlie Dennis, Tamara, Kayla? Hope y'all are doing well this evening. This is where I find the issue, because when the baby girl first hurt her head, allegedly fell out of a chair. At first I heard it was fell down some stairs. Why didn't they want to take her immediately? If they knew she was having seizures and everything that was going on, why did they wait until the grandmother got home? And the grandmother had to be the one to tell them to go take the baby to the hospital. Like, you know something's wrong with that child. Like, the fact that they waited tells me that there's a lack of sincerity, a lack of compassion for those children. Like, they probably just go lay down. Like, who knows? Like, and I think about it, I started getting a little bit angry. And so just kind of excuse me a little bit, but there had to be a lack of compassion for those children. And what I'm saying is, the fact that same grandmother went to the courts and was like, hey, you know, get them up out of there, help, you know, basically get the kids up out of there, even though she didn't get them, tells you that she knows something that the general public doesn't know. She knows what was going on in that house. If they were all living together, she knows what's going on in that house. And she knows that sometimes there is, I won't call it aggressive parenting, it's just bad parenting. There's a way that you should be handling your child. So she's probably seen that woman be very aggressive with that child. And then the fact that it's got to the point where it is now, I'm pretty sure she's devastated. I'm pretty sure she feels hurt for not doing something earlier. You know what I'm saying? And I think she probably has something on her conscience too. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I bet he is on the run, because like I said, I don't think anybody's seen him in a couple days. The police said they've been trying to reach out to him. They haven't heard from him. Um, it's a real tough deal, man. Yeah, and exactly. Like they were talking about the injuries were not in line with a fall; that they were in line with signs of abuse. You know what I mean? But like I said, I spoke on it. I did a dedicated video to it, so I'm not going to recant everything. I'm going to open up the lines a little bit early. I just want to know how y'all feel. I want to know what's on y'all mind, and we'll speak on it. But I ain't going to lie to you. One, I got to make sure that the storm don't catch us, so I want to be able to take some calls. Two, y'all be safe out there if you are in Houston. If you are in H-Town, like I said, I can hear it in the background. But I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid of no rain. It's just gonna give us a little ambiance to the sound. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what I question too. You know, you weren't concerned when you left the airport. You weren't blowing up the phone. Like, I think somebody would be in a panic. I mean, they'd be comments on Facebook. It would be anything. Have y'all seen? You know, like if you had my child. I'm a father, and I don't have any biological kids, and most of y'all know my situation. Some of you are new to it, and y'all will learn if you stick around. We have a variety of conversations. You'll get to know me. And like I say, I got with a single mother. I embraced that child like my own, and I love her like she's my own. I would not understand how somebody could do this to a child. It blows my fucking mind. Like, it makes me angry. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into it. Let me open up the lines. We'll take some calls, man. I want to know how y'all feel. I want to know what y'all are thinking. I'm telling y'all, man, look, ain't afraid of no rain. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Hold on, it's just rumbling a little bit, you know, just a little bit, but I ain't even tripping. Let me put the number up here for those of you who don't have the number. All right, the line is open. If you guys want to call in, you want to text in, I'll read your text messages. You want to call in, speak your piece. But I think a lot more of this goes on that you don't. I mean, this looks like so many cases. Some people have referred me to so many different cases. Damn, I wish I could remember the name right now, because I briefly read over it, but it was a situation in 2011 with a guy. And apparently he said that, you know, his car got stolen. And then an hour later they found a car, baby seat, found decomposition in the baby seat, found, you know, decomposition in the house. This kid had 7 different baby mamas, 7 kids with 7 baby mamas, you know. And even though they never found the body of the child, they sentenced him to life. But the baby mama was defending him the whole entire time, calling it racism, even though the judge was black, the lawyers, the attorneys were black. You know, saying, oh, they were using racist. Like, look, man, look, Jack, you know, if a situation is racist, yeah, I'll definitely talk to you about it. Not everything, just because it goes against what you want, you know what I mean, doesn't mean that it's racist. Fucked up is fucked up. You understand me? And I don't understand how a woman can carry a child for 9 months, give birth to it. Like, I don't understand the feeling, never will, can't, because I guess it's not in a man in that sense. The man's goal is to be the protector. But to be a nurturer and to put dick over, you know, your child, and not to say it in a fucked up way, but there's no other way to say it, man. And that's what people are doing. That's what's really going on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Yes, how you doing? Calling from New Orleans.
Nah, already shout out to
you know, I need to sing with Dijon, who's the case you're talking about with the little girl.
Okay.
But also to add on to that, the police lady at the time went into a home and said that she saw that child alive. And then there was an investigator that followed that particular case where you're talking about the dad, supposed to have been the carjacking, the car seat, what have you. The older child defended him, the mother. But if you pay attention, go back to that case, the woman that he was dealing with at that particular time, who was in the home, who said he heard her hit that baby with a ruler wrapped in some type of bondage or whatever that he used for spanking. She said she didn't hear that baby cry anymore. She's later recanted that story. So you got to be careful with that one, because I think she's got some stuff that she's doing. But to point out with this case with this Davis baby right now, in Houston, where that car was found, was like 2 like a 28-minute drive from his job location. All the hospital where this was supposed to be taken and where the car was found is all on particular one side of town and like within a various minutes of his job location. Now, if you pay attention, if you go on the map, you look at where the airport is. He was actually supposed to be headed out in that direction on, let's say, the left side of town when you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is taking place on the right side of town, which is aligned in with your job and reservoirs all along that area. See, this is where I'm coming from with this guy. And mom does not have grief. Mom doesn't hold grief to me. A couple of news articles pointed out that she tried as she may, she couldn't bring a tear to the situation. She even covered her face up at one time once she said that she couldn't do it. She was overwhelmed. Girl, you have stood up for this man online, protecting him. Oh, y'all think he this and he this and another. Baby, where's the cry out for your child? Call out for your child. This is what you're supposed to be focused on. To care hell with whatever's going on. One thing you do know is he was the last person to see your baby. And you ought to be looking at the fact of how he's not responding to these policemen. If, you know what I'm saying, just look at him for yourself as a woman. And today, too many times we like to sweep stuff underneath the rug. I'm willing to believe they're going to go back and those head injuries going to lead to something else. Her mother, she keeps stepping up to speak and saying she wasn't intending on speaking, but she keeps stepping up to speak. And she doesn't even have a go-to with her own daughter. She didn't comfort her when she said, I can't do this anymore. I'm breaking down. There was another female that came from the back area behind them that kind of came up to take her to the side in a grieving, a consoling type moment. Whereas mom was like, yeah, okay, well, yeah, don't say anything, go on about your business. And then she proceeded to talk to the news people. Something ain't sitting right between those two. Yeah. So she just does not have the care that a mother is supposed to be putting in. No, you're not supposed to be judgmental. People do show emotion in different manners. But if you're just looking, and I mean, you get enraged with people making comments about his innocence or guilt. But you don't have that for your own child. She's missing 7 days. I'm bouncing from here, there, every story that I can see, little tit-for-tat updates and all. I seem to be more concerned of, Lord, where's this baby? This she is. You know, you more of a complaining what you going through, and I ain't had a chance to grieve. You know, I don't want to, I ain't had a chance to grieve over my father. Moms, I done heard of stories where moms, big heavy stuff and fell on. Look, I know a dog that'll do a better job at protecting her babies than a bunch of these females that's going around today. I am so sorry. I know a puppy that'll cut up. She's scary otherwise, but stick your hand in that box to go get one of her puppies and watch she turn into the vicious tag dog. She gonna stand ground. These women today are not doing this here. And I don't care what nobody says. You can sit with a man and you know what you're laying with. I don't care what you say. You know what you're laying with. And if it cross your mind wrong, they say study long, study wrong. You go. These men, they should be thrown away to the wolves. He just doesn't. What you call him? This is a stepdaughter. You come back with your daughter. You was in the back of a truck with your daughter and your stepdaughter and your son. I'd have jumped. Yeah. I'd have made a big jump. I'd have took it and got out of that vehicle. You went in and out. They were kidnapping y'all, but y'all weren't tied down. That was
now you just said something. You said something about her and her relationship with her mom. Do you think that the relationship that she has with her mom maybe impacted the way that she treated this daughter?
Yes, indeed, because it's something missing there. Like I said, in the moment when she said, if you just go back, she's like, she was like, I can't do this. I'm just emotionally overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this. Mom didn't go to turn to her and console her at that moment. And I was like, well, if ever a moment, you're here. You're standing at her side, right? Yeah. So I'm expecting a certain kind of reaction from my mom. And this is my granddaughter that's missing, And, okay, she's breaking. And I know my child. And I'm going to go to her. I'm going to comfort her. I'm going to give her as much comfort as possibly can. And she did not do that. There was a woman that came from the back, from behind her, that kind of pulled her out of the camera's eye and off to the side. Whereas mom was like, even her hand moving was, I'm a body reader. Even her hand moving was like, okay, yeah, you go ahead. You go on back there. And then she proceeded to talk to the new people, like to say, I'll just take it from here. But she never went to console her daughter. These cameras, you're not saying anything that's pertaining in the warrant, the call. You should be, informing the crowd, this baby is really sick. Mom has not one time highlighted this to the public. The media and reading sources is where I got this information that this baby brain injuries just came out of surgery in March area. Hey, mom, highlight this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in your mind, someone has my child. Give them all the things. Bring them down to human form. Hey, she's sick. She needs attention, she needs to be attended to, make a human, and what monster may have her or what have you. But I think he gave himself, and I would want to go back. If I was in detective mode, I would first go back to her and ask her when the last time she spoke with her child. When was she aware that her child was alive and well, and that you can attest to in time? Because she was going to the funeral, he was at home with the kids, and he says, en route to the airport. We don't know all that time. He may have done something to that child the day before. Yeah. Before she was to return. Yeah. And then he said, hey, he had a little time to think. Let me work this out. Let me go put her here. Let me go do this. And I'm going to say, this took place over here. And everything that you're saying that went on, the finding of the car, your job location, all of this is over here on the, I'm going to say, the left side of the map. Yeah. And the airport is on the right side of the map. The route you took in the first place, if we're going to believe what you're saying, why were you going in that direction? You were going all the way around. You was almost doing a deformation when all you had to do was take that back brace and go straight up. Yeah. You took a curve around back to, if you were going to make it, but you didn't, you off over here. All this took place on this area over here within a 28-minute time span. You had 24 hours, probably even more. Like I said, I would want to know when the last time anybody heard from that little girl, talked to her, was aware that she was alive and well. Because some kind of way, he figured out where to go put her. And then you done did a whole disappearing act. And if you just had a little faith in the nigga, if you had a little faith in him, just a little bit, when he is not being cooperative, when he is not willing to speak up, when he cannot be found, your mind don't swing this way now, and my baby, and come to a realization and say, well, you know what? Whatever I'm thinking, this does look wrong. This looks suspicious. Just from just anybody's eye. Come on, mom, and it's your baby. It's your baby. Respond like it's your baby. Act like it's your kid. Act like it's your child.
And the thing that's just getting me though is that, like, because they seen the car the next day, on one of them traffic cameras, and then it ends up in that parking lot. I'm sure there's cameras in that parking lot, and that's what's going to expose something to somebody.
Let me give you a scenario. Let me give you a scenario. I'm gonna play a role right quick.
What's happening?
I'm a black mama, and I'm standing at this goddamn airport. Yeah. And you were supposed to come pick me up. And you have my 2 kids. Really? And you ain't come pick me up. You think I'm going to let you ride and slide? And how come my mama was able to come here and find me? And you ain't been able to, you done circled the bend and went around the block, whatever I thought you was doing. You ain't found me yet. Yeah. Here come my mama. She comes straight to me, pick me up, bring me to her house, and I still ain't heard from you. I would be actively pursuing you still standing at the airport. Where the hell you at? Yeah. What you doing? Yeah. Well, I'm standing there, a lot of J over my head. Where you at? You on Z? Come all the way around the J, partner. It's just common sense at the airport. And my mama was able to come and find me right away and take me home, and I still not responding. So I say, hey, when she was out there, the nigga called and say, hey, I messed up. I did. Hey, look, I'm gonna buy something. We need something. I'm buying some time. Cause this is not saying nothing about communication between those two.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole circumstance, you didn't never call and say, "Well, where you at?
Yeah.
What you doing?" Nobody don't have no cell phone. Son, what's going on? Somebody got to tell me something. I'm just my nerves so bad for this baby. This go on too much. And I'm one of them females. I'm standing up for a black woman all day, every day long. But when we lacking.
Yeah.
Hey, if I can't say, come and find a place to be supportive for you, something is very wrong there. Because my mind is, I'm gonna advocate for us. I'm gonna stand for us. I'm gonna be here for us. And I can't find nothing with you, chick. You not even responding. Like I said, I know a dog that do a better job with her puppy than what you doing. You not responding properly.
Man, I agree. But this Miss Soul Better?
Is this who? This Soul Better.
Soul Better, okay, yeah, okay. Well, Miss Soul Better, man, I got a couple other calls coming in. I'd love to hear what you say.
Sure.
I hope you stick with it, but I appreciate you sharing that with us. And
all right, and I appreciate you getting on this here and describing this as a discussion.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, you have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye. But sometimes the calls get good. I see a couple of folks trying to call in, and like I say, but like I said, we're gonna take some calls tonight. We're gonna see what's on y'all mind, and we're just gonna discuss it, man. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we got calling in to the den this evening?
Studio City, what the motherfucking deal, Danielle?
Studio City, what's going on? What would you like to speak on tonight, man?
Well, first of all, I'd like to speak on what you're speaking on. First of all, I'd like to say that, like, your heart is so passionate about this little girl, and it's like, sometimes things happen out there in the world, and we don't understand why we're passionate about it, but we are. Like, a few years ago, that little boy who got eaten by the alligator at Disney World. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Lane Graves. Yeah, I don't know why I had such a passion about it, but I did. But you're showing the same passion towards this. And here's what I have to throw out there. Okay, there's so many things that don't make sense in the whole fucking thing. First of all, dude gets, whatever happens, he's on the side of the road knocked out with the 2-year-old when he's on the way to go pick the mother up from the airport. Now, I'm a mother. If I get off the plane and my family's not there to get me, and then I get home and they're still not there, guess what I'm gonna fucking do? Call the fucking police.
Exactly.
Like where the hell is my family? Okay, they didn't show up to pick me up at the airport. Like, okay, these are missing people, especially children. So there is this, like, when did the mother get on the plane? When did the mother, like maybe she just went away conveniently to make up this bizarre fucking story. It's like, we live in this time right now where you hear the most horrific thing that should not be anything but the horrific thing that it is, even though that nothing horrific should be happening. But instead of it really being the horrific thing that you can't fathom, it's parents doing it to their children.
That's the most disgusting shit. And like I say, I say it all the time. Like I say, I don't have anything, but I couldn't imagine it being my own flesh and blood and doing something like, but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, you weren't cutting me off. I was listening because I want. No, that's like, when you look at the whole. There's things that happen in life that you can't, like, really have any fathomable explanation other than they're just evil and they happen. But see, this isn't that. 12 hours on the side of the road with a 2-year-old? 24 hours? How long was the guy on the side of the freeway?
Not as long as he said he was.
Well, no, but I mean, what the story is portraying with a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
And you're telling me nobody saw, nobody noticed. Not only that, the number one thing, see, is if I get off the airplane and my family's not there to greet me, I might, whatever, then I'm going to take a cab home. I'm going to be irritated as fuck because they missed my flight. I'm going to get home, my family's still not there. Okay, where are my babies? I don't even care about the man. Where are my babies? Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole going to pick her up at the airport story. Like, I watch way too much Criminal Minds and Law and Order and all of that. Maybe I should go back to school in my old age where I am now and like going. But there's just it doesn't make sense. But then you don't hear the people who enforce crimes, police, and all of those other people saying too much about it. It's almost, I don't know, it's bizarre to me. You didn't pick, you were on your way to the airport, 3 Mexicans, okay, there's been all these hoax crimes going on that have to do with Trump haters and this, that, the other, and anti-Semitic and blah, blah, blah. This almost just looks like, okay, so they're throwing a hoax, okay, so 3 Mexican guys took your kid? And you're telling me, none of it makes sense. None of it. None of it.
And the fact that car was tinted, and that's what killed me. He can remember what they said.
Okay, here's what we do, Honcho. Mm-hmm. Here's what we do. We ignore everything he's saying.
Yeah.
And we look at the facts.
Yeah.
And the facts are, we take some of what he's told us. You were on the way to the airport to pick up your girlfriend, who is the mother of the child who is missing. Okay. When did the child go missing? We don't really know that for a fact. And when did she go out of town? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what when did she leave? Let's take a look at that. I mean, you don't ever want to look at parents and say you've done this, but when this bullshit, there's no truth to it. Truth rises to the top. And all of these, everywhere we live, all of us, we're all under surveillance. You're telling me they couldn't pull up freeway footage of where that is?
Yeah.
You can't see a truck going, of them coming. You mentioned also earlier today, it was either you or another site that I was watching about the windows being tinted.
Yeah, I talked about it.
Like, how do you know what's in that vehicle? And not only that, if you heard some thumpity thump sound and pulled over to check your tires, if some car pulled up to you, the whole thing, none of it makes sense. There is but throwing the 3 Mexicans in there, that makes a lot of sense in the fact that that's a deterrent to make you think it's something that it's not. People watch way too much TV, and they think that what happens on TV is real, which a lot of it comes from reality, but the way that it's twisted, it's like, but even on TV, everything's surveilled. How does any criminal in today's society not know that you can't be surveilled? Go ahead and smash your phone with a hammer. Guess what? They can still pull your fucking phone records. Easy. But this thing, it's like none of it. There's none of it makes any sense. And all this the baby had brain surgery operations. All of those things. I know they're saying that, and God forgive me for even saying this, but why in any of the pictures is her hair not shaved? Because if you had brain surgery, you wouldn't have any hair. I don't care where they operate on your head; they're going to be shaving it.
That was interesting. What if the pictures aren't too recent? What if because I know that they said that it was supposed to be like late March, early April, and if that is the case,
maybe that's when she fell out of the chair and hit her head and had seizures because they didn't take her to the hospital to get proper care.
And that blows my mind right there, is that the fact that, because I guess they all live together, grandma was at work. The grandma had to get off work and get home. Like, how do you not know
and witness
to tell you to go
because
and take the kids to the fucking hospital?
Okay, I'm a mother. If my kid falls down and hurts himself, the first thing I'm doing is throwing him in my car or calling 911 if I don't think my car can make it. If I did something to that child, I'm going to try and tell myself there's nothing wrong with that child. Mm-hmm. That's the mentality of of a mind who beats a child. Mm-hmm. They're telling themselves that there's nothing really wrong. Mm-hmm. So when that grandmother walked in the door and saw the child, it was like, and they tell her, oh, she fell off her chair. No, she didn't fall off her chair. And guess what? If she did fall off her chair, your ass would have called 911 because that's your first maternal instinct. is to make sure your child is okay. Guilt is the only thing that is going to stop any individual from doing what's right.
Exactly.
Okay? So when they're talking about brain, blah, 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 okay, well, maybe whatever they're talking about has to do from whatever happened from this incident that is reported where the child had a head injury.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and it's obviously not the first time that there has been, CPS involvement. But the bottom line is where you see that the story makes no sense is the mother, you were on the way to pick up the mother from the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't make it. I, as the mother, am going to want to know where my damn family is.
Exactly.
So there's the whole for me. So and then you when did the mother leave? This is a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah. So 4.
How old is she?
She'll be 4 years old.
Okay, so she's not in school. She's mandatorily yet, but is she at a preschool? I mean, when did the mother leave for her trip? Did she happen to leave for the trip the day before or 2 days before? Do you know what I mean? Look at it. Just there's no. The truth always comes in logic. Logic is you can't fight logic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as much as it is horrific to think that little child is not with us any longer, like you said, you don't want to go there, but it doesn't seem to be anything other than that. Where's the trail for the baby?
Yeah.
Where is the trail for her?
I mean, and that's the thing. And what sucks too is because the weather out here is like, you can hear it now. It's all over the city. It's getting real bad, and now they can't even really search for her right now. They can't really do much searching because of the weather that's coming in, and that sucks. So that's going to put a delay on things for a couple of days.
Well, the thing is people are just stupid, and they believe what they're told, and they don't know. Like, okay, first of all, after the Jussie Smollett thing, if you don't know that there's cameras everywhere in life,
yeah.
I don't care where you are. You can be in the most podunk town of Podunk. There are cameras.
Yeah.
Especially, you go to a park. Like, I was actually in a park in a really podunk town, Barstow. Everybody's heard of Barstow. That's where you drive through to get from L.A. to Vegas. It's a teen little town on Route 66. And we were in this park, and the lady said something. I said, there's video cameras here. She goes, no, there's not. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, look, there's a sign right there.
Yeah.
This park is under surveillance 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
She looked at it, and she said, well, damn. I'm like, what, you think because you're just in some little redneck town that technology isn't here? You got an iPhone? Come on. But this, on the side of the highway for 24 hours with a 2-year-old.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
That going to pick up, none of it makes sense, and it's. The sooner, for people like that, you just wish they would just end the bullshit and just go ahead and say it. Because in the reality, you're wasting money on shit that could be wasted in such better places.
But I think they're doing like they're doing with Jesse, though, and kind of letting him play himself. But I think this guy here realized that he made a mistake and that he's trying to. I'm worried that he's trying to duck out. He may be trying to,
but guess what? You're not. Where are you going to duck to?
Yeah, that's true.
Really, where are you going to duck to?
Yeah.
You're going to think you're going to duck. Go right ahead. Think all you want. But you're not going to duck. Today's technology doesn't give you the availability to duck.
Yeah. But here's the deal, Miss Studio. We got a couple of calls coming in.
Okay, get some other people calling in.
But you said you're not that far from Vegas, so you're gonna join us for Vegas for the Den Show meet and greet.
Wait, say that again.
So you said you're not too far from Vegas, so you're gonna join us in November for the Den Show meet and greet.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm in Ventura, California. No, I'm not too far, but yeah, do a meet and greet. I'll definitely come.
All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna hold you to that, but I appreciate your call.
Okay, everybody out there in the Den fam, be well. Bye.
All right, adios. Shout out to Studio City, man, but I agree. There's nowhere to run, and that is true. Like I say, what it is that then that place where he is working, there are plenty of cameras. Where that car was found, there's plenty of cameras, and that's where the truth will be told. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to name several children
All right,
that have died.
who do we have calling in?
This is Victoria Welch.
Okay, Miss Victoria. Okay, first time caller. Glad you could join us this evening. You say you want to name several children that have died?
Courtesy of the system and their neglect. As long as we continue to push forward and make sure that, because I'm not letting off the necks of CPS. CPS is failing Black children. Don't get me wrong, they're failing all children. I'm not gonna, kind of go too deep, but I want to name Tanasia McLeod, Bella Davis, Anaya Garrett. It's funny because I had my thoughts together before I called here, but now I can't think of it.
That's all right. Take your time.
Because I'm really nervous and I'm pissed off about the abuse of Black children. Chanel Crawford, Trust in Blue. There are so many children that CPS has failed, and as people, we kind of put our faith in these people. We kind of say, well, if they just would have just took them and never gave them back, then this would have never have happened. But as people, we don't understand that sometimes, well, most of the time, the CPS is a failed government organization. CPS is not here, and it's not designed to protect children. This is why, first of all, what's your name, brother? DJ.
Oh, you talking in the chat or my name?
Your channel name.
Oh, the Den is the name of the channel. I'm Ed Honcho.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, DJ Head Honcho, the Den. If you had a child protective organization, would you have this many children dying under your care? Of course you wouldn't. Because you would be an organization that is designed to protect children. So you wouldn't be having all these multiple children dying under your care, because you would be an organization that is designed to protect children. Well, let's just be honest. CPS is not designed to protect children. Many of our children have died under the care of these people. And let's just be honest. First off, they spend a lot of their time taking children who shouldn't be taken. I know a lot of children who live in poverty, whose parents don't have much, who aren't necessarily being abused. They just don't have everything. They just don't, have everything that other children have, but that does not necessarily constitute abuse. Do you understand what I'm saying, brother?
Yes, I got you.
And then there are other people who are middle class or even lower class or high class, who are a lot of the times white, who are getting their children taken away for multiple reasons. And they always seem to come back, to their families because their families have completed multiple programs, or because people are allowing them to do this because they've they've completed the required standards for this particular organization. But the problem is this: CPS needs to be eradicated because it's not saving children. All I have to do is think about Anaya Day, Tanasia McLeod, Imani Moss, DeAndre Davis. I can't even bring up the names that, the amount of children that have died courtesy of CPS. Yeah. People are not here to protect children. They're doing it to collect money. I even know that there are families who have taken children who were not being abused, who they just refuse to give them back for whatever minute and minuscule and trivial reasons, because these people are not there to protect our children. That's why our children keep dying. Look at Maleah Davis. She had a head injury. You and I both know. I've seen a few of your videos, and I hadn't even heard of you except for the past 48 hours. And I see how passionate you are about children. This girl didn't just fall out of a chair or, I have 3 boys, and my boys are extremely rambunctious. I mean, they do the most WrestleMania shit, and they never have those type of injuries that Maleah had. Her head injuries came from abuse. We know this as people. So they took her, and for whatever reason, like you said, they gave mom and dad a break. Keep in mind, dad is not even her dad, so he does not give a flying fuck about the well-being of this child. And then mom, of course, she's probably so ridiculously consumed with, I just wanted to be me and my man and our child. Lord forbid he leave her and then she fucks around and start abusing him, because this is what bitches like her do. They only care about the child of the man that they're currently fucking. It's like, okay, I'm currently fucking you, so I only care about your child. Okay, so I'm moving on to someone else. So now I'm going to kill him the way that I killed my other daughter, because I'm consumed with dick.
Man, you brought up a very, very good point there. And kind of, I guess, to kind of go off of what you said earlier, is it really the system that's failing, or is it these parents that are failing these kids that are why is it so much of this going on?
Here's my issue, brother. I am not saying that we are not failing our children, because we most certainly are. We most certainly are. There should always be a time that a black child should come to us at an after-school program, at a bus stop, or whatever, and we should just be able to look at that child and say, hey, come here, sweetheart. Come to my house with me. Let's get a snack. You want to spend the night with me? Everything's fine. And we should just be okay. We should have a community that's doing that. But we're not doing that because we're fucking sick. We're too fucking sick to do it because we're too worried about ourselves. So we're like, oh, that ain't my motherfucking business. We're fucked up in the head. So we let a child go home and get abused, and then something happens, and then we're on the news like some fucking slaves and a bunch of idiots, and we're like, oh, I sure wish I could have did something about that. Boy, I sure wish I could have helped that child. And no, you didn't, because if you did, you would have fucking did it. We just don't care. I think about Imani Moss, the way that Tiffany Moss starved her to fucking death. And her teacher seen her, and she was like, oh, Imani was getting skinny, but, I mean, it's not her teacher's business. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's our business. Imani Moss losing weight is not our business. Anaya Garrett losing weight is not our business. I mean, it's not their business. Tanasia McLeod losing weight is not their business. It's our business. And we turned a blind eye, and we went about our usual old bullshit ass lives. Don't get me wrong, a lot of us think that we're better than each other, because it's like, oh, I don't live in the projects, fuck them niggas. And then you got some of us who do live in the projects, and we're not neglecting our children because our children have on Jordans and they're not eating noodles every day. So we think like, oh, well, fuck her. That's not our problem. It is our fucking problem. When you see a black child in distress, that is your fucking business, period. Tanasia McLeod, Ayana Day, Bella Davis, Imani Moss. She died because we keep minding our own business. We keep saying, "Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me." Yes, the fuck it does. It does. This is our business. This is our problem. If you notice that every time this happens to one of our children, if you notice, CPS never gets in trouble. They never get in trouble. Nobody ever says, "Oh, well, let's talk to the caseworker." Don't get me wrong. They will talk to the caseworker and say, "Oh, well, what did you do? And what steps did you take?" But after that, the caseworker probably gets fired, and then everybody just moves on with their life, and then the child continues to die.
That's tough.
Anaya Day died in her own piss and fecal matter, in her own urine. She was skeletal when they found her. She had no food in her stomach. Her mother lied and called 911 and said, "Oh, my baby acting weird. I tried to press on her stomach." Bitch, you didn't do nothing for her. You already knew your daughter was dead. What the fuck are you talking about?
So how much of that do you think goes to somebody who would do that to their child? How much of that do you think should be attributed to mental illness? Because you got to be a sick motherfucker to be even do shit like that.
I think that when it comes to, and I'm not even going to lie, and I don't want to try to sound callous to mental illness, but when are we going to start attributing this to full-fledged evil? You know, I think that Black people as a whole, we do have a mental problem. We do suffer from mental illness. I mean, come on. We are suffering from generational curses. You know, our great-great-great-great-grandparents have been through slavery and Jim Crow. Of course we have a mental problem. Of course there's something wrong with our people. But what does that say about the other Black mothers who don't do this to our children? I don't fucking think so. God damn it, my father was a chauvinist. All he did was pay the bills and treat my mother like a fucking maid. He cheated on my mother and treated her like garbage. I'm never gonna dismiss my children or fail to feed them because I'm in another relationship with a man and I'm treating my children like garbage. We cannot excuse this anymore. There is no excuse for abusing your children. This is the thing. If we had our own judicial system, our own political system, where we could tell Black women and Black men, if you abuse your children, we are going to feed you to lions. We are going to feed you to hyenas. There is no excuse for this. If you don't want your fucking children, you had an option. You could have dropped your children off at a hospital. You could have dropped your children off at a fire station. There are so many people that are infertile that can't even have children. Why did you do this? You did it. You did this because you're a fucking monster. And you deserve to die. This is not mental illness. This is full-fledged, unadulterated evil. Okay. And I believe that this is why Maleah's mother and her father, look at Maleah's mother, the way that she fake broke down about Maleah. That shit was bullshit. It's not real. I'm 38 years old. Guess what? Guess where I see that broke down in?
Where's that?
In the 90s, when Susan Smith drove her children into a river. That's when I seen that broke down. That broke down is bullshit. It's not real. It's lies. It's fake, and it's bullshit.
Well, here's the deal, man, Miss Victoria. I hate to cut you short because I feel like you're on a roll, and I appreciate you calling in. We've got a couple other calls coming. I want to make sure everybody gets a shot. But I thank you for sharing with us, man, and I hope that you stay tuned and you continue to join us because I'm interested in some of your views, and I think we could have some good conversations.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry for taking up
No. You're fine. Usually I let people go, but we're actually getting some calls in tonight. But if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, because some of those names you mentioned I'm familiar with, some of them I'm not. Could you text me those names because I would like to look into some of those stories. If you can text to the same number, I can text message about this number too, and I'd like to look at those stories.
I will, brother.
Right,
It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Look, y'all know I usually like letting y'all, spill your deal because I'm always interested in hearing what everybody says, man. But I see a few folks been trying to call up, and I've been hanging up on some folks, so I want to make sure everybody gets a shot. Cause look, I'm sticking to that 2 hours tonight. Y'all be trying to drag me on. Look, I don't want the Den Show studios to explode. The weather coming in. And I saw somebody just calling in, and then it hung up. Here's the deal. Actually, matter of fact, y'all give me 1 second. We gotta take a quick hiatus. I'll be like right back in like 2 minutes. Y'all give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna put y'all on the little whole screen. I'll be right back in 2 shakes of a Scotty's tail. Right back. Man, look, I gotta tell y'all, man, look, I can jump through a storm and not get wet, baby. I'm smooth. I'll be right back.